Welcome. This is for the PreAP Test 5-1 review. So what do you need to know in order to be successful? Well, inequalities, equations, triangles, area. So number one, Marlena spends a total of $60 at the bookstore. She purchases 4 books of equal price and spends an additional $4 or sales tax. Will this situation be represented by equation or inequality? So write and solve an equation or inequality to determine the cost of each book B that Merlina purchases. So she spends a total of $60, so it equals $60. She purchased 4 books of equal price. But we know the price? No. 4 times x, 4x, and spends an additional $40. So 4x plus 4 equals 60. So we solve this. So we subtract 4 on both sides. 4x equals 56. Divide 4 on both sides. X equals 14. So we graph it, close dot on 14. Number 3 and 4. Felicita purchases 5 hair bows for school, each costing the same amount, including a $10 gift card she received for her birthday. Felicity wants to spend a maximum of $20 on the bows. Maximum. Very important. That must be an inequality then. So she purchases 5 hair bows for school. So do we know it? So 5x. Then she includes a $10 gift card plus 10. So maximum. Maximum means the most you'll pay. So maximum means less or equal to. That's why we use this symbol, 20. So we subtract 10 on both sides. 5x is less than or equal to 10. Divide both sides by 5. X is less than or equal to 2. Close dot and less than 2. So she purchases 5 hair bows. Do you know the price of it? No, 5x. But then she includes a $10. So maximum of $20. 5. So here is a model. Write an equation to determine the number of bulbs Sheila can order. So 2x plus 4 equal 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So we subtract 4 from both sides. Cancel, cancel. 2x equals 16. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 8. Number 6. Write the inequality for the model below. So can you translate this? This is negative 3 less than 3x minus 3. So we add 3 to both sides. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Then we divide both sides by 3. Cancel, cancel, cancel. So it's 0 is less than x. However, in algebra, we do like putting the variable on the left side. So x is facing the greater side of 0. So x is more than 0, which is open dot. So if you had to graph this, which you don't have to here, but if you had to, is 0, open dot, and you shade in the numbers that have more than like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 7, solve the inequality and graph on the number line. So subtract 9 from both sides. Negative 3x is less than 21. Divide both sides by negative 3. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Oh, wait. Are we dividing by a negative number? You have to flip the sign around. X is more than negative 7. So open dot. This symbol means more than, so we shade it to the right. When solving inequality, what happens when you multiply or divide by a negative number? When you multiply or divide by a negative, like right here, we're dividing by a negative number. You got to flip the sign around. On the last test, number 14, many of you did not flip it around. Very disappointed in that. Very disappointed. Number 8, 9, and 10. Solve each one. Which one would negative 4 be a solution? So there are many ways you could do this. One way you could do it is you can solve each one. So subtract 4 from both sides. Cancel, cancel, cancel. X divided by 4 is greater or equal to 1. Multiply 4 on both sides. So is so x is greater or equal to 4. Is negative 4 greater than or equal to 4? No, false. Or another way is replace the x with the number they give you. And the answer is false. This one. If I subtract 16, so 5x plus 16 equals negative 4. Subtract 16 from both sides. That's 5x equals negative 20. Divide by 5 on both sides. X equals negative 4. True. And the last one, in this one, if I subtract 9 and 1/4 from both sides, that'd be negative. And then you divide by 3. First of all, it will be true. Because if we replace the x with negative 4, negative 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Negative 12 plus 9 is negative 3 more than negative 12? Yes, it is. And if you actually solve it, negative 4 would be the answer. All right, next one. Read each story, match it with one of these inequality. Mrs. Daniel bought 3 multi-packs of gum. With the 4 packs she now has a total of 24 packs of gum. Find the thing. So she has a total. Well, it has to be equal to 24, so B is the only one that makes sense. Midway through softball season, Anne has 4 hits. The goal she set for herself at the beginning of the season was at least 24. If 24 is the lowest she has, at least means more or equal to. So at least means more or equal to 24. It is A. Next one. So we already did B and A. Roger budgeted at most. At most means the most money you'll spend. So the most she'll spend is 24. So that means it has to be less or equal to 24. So it'd be D. And Mrs. Byer rents a water trampoline for her son's birthday party. The delivery fee for the trampoline is $4 plus 3 times the hour. And less than 24. She wants to spend less than. So C is the answer. All right, number 15 is 16. Z needs to draw an example of a triangle. Look at the set of angle measure. Determine if a triangle can be formed. Explain your reasoning. What do you know about triangle? All triangles, if you add up the interior of a triangles, it will have to add up to 180 degrees. You got to know that. A triangle adds up to 180 degrees. So for example, 30 plus 60 is 90, plus 90 is 180. So if you add all of these up, 25 plus 55 is 80. 80 plus 100 is 180. 25, so it's yes. If you add up these 3 numbers, 64 plus 48 plus 58 adds up to 170. No, the interior angles of a triangle must add up to 180. That's why this is a no. Taking the 6th grade TEKS or 6th grade lesson into a 7th grade lesson, same thing. Look at the sketch of the triangle below. The sum of P and Q is 126 degrees. So P plus Q is 126. Write and solve equations to determine the value of x. So P plus Q plus R, which is 9x, equals 180. But do we know what P and Q is? It's 126. So 126 plus 9x equals 180. We know how to solve 2 steps. Subtract 126 from both sides. Cancel. And you get 9x equals 54. Divide 9 on both sides. So x equals 6. So what is x? Equals 6. Number 18. The last part of this test, you have to know area. Area of trapezoid, parallelogram, triangle, and I think that's it, rectangle. You don't have to memorize it. Use your math chart. You have this little purple paper or whatever math chart you have. So first of all, so it says determine the area of the trapezoid. One of these number is junk number. Yes, this is the slant. Please do not use that. So the formula for trapezoid is this. What does that mean? It's half of the average of the bases. So you add up the bases by half of it times the height. So if you add up, these are the bases, 24 and 48. If you add it up, it's 72. The height is 24. So there are many ways to do this. You can do half of 24 is 12, 12 times 72. You can do half of 72, which is 36, 36 times 24, but the answer will be 864. Or you can multiply 72 times 24 and then cut that number in half. I think it's like 1,700, I don't know, 28, I think. All right, so that's the area of a trapezoid. Foster has two slices of homemade pizza. One was cut like a rectangle, blah, blah. The other one is in a triangle, blah, blah. Write and solve the equation to determine the area of the rectangle. How do you find the area of the rectangle? Look at your math chart. It says area equal BH. B stands for the base. H stands for height. What's the base? 6. What's the height? 3.5. I'm going to turn it to a decimal, 3.5. If you multiply 6 times 3.5 equals 21 square inches. 20, right? And solve to determine the area of the triangle. So the area of the triangle is half of base times height. If you turn this sideways, turn your head sideways, so you're looking this way, you'll notice that this is the slant, junk number. So what is the base? 6. Oh, how embarrassing. I got this one wrong. Oof. How embarrassing. I apologize. 6. What the? How did I get this one wrong completely? And the height is 7. I apologize on that one. So the base is 6. The height is 7. Half of 6 is 3. 3 times 7 is 21 square inches. So what can you tell me about them? Oh, this is completely wrong. They both have the same area. I am so embarrassed by that. And that's it. Yeah, so you got to know your area. Got to know how to solve two-step equation and two-step inequality. Make sure you know that when you're multiplying, dividing by inequality, you got to flip it around. And a triangle adds up to 180. Good luck.